Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitaBugHandmaids.com. Thank you so much for joining me today for another Stampin' Up! Tutorial. So today I am going to share a quick project with you featuring the Pampered Pets stamp set. This is a really cute set, and there are actually some coordinating dies that you can buy that cut out these different little images. But let's go ahead and jump right into today's project. Okay, so I've got all of my materials here, and I'm going to start first actually by die cutting this piece of Whisper White cardstock with this rectangle stitched die. So I've got my mini machine here and I need to find my plates. I don't see my plates. Found them. All right, so let's put down, plate number 1. Then I'm gonna put down, I'll do this cutting plate since it's the most used. Put down a cutting plate. Then I've got my white cardstock. I will, what's that? Okay, put my die down, another cutting plate on top, line all that up, and then we can just run this through the mini. There we go. Okay, and then just pop this out, and then you have this beautiful rectangle with the little stitched border all around. All right, so for my stamping, I am going to stamp my sentiment. Let me just grab it here in Calypso Coral ink, and the sentiment that I chose is the one that says, "I hope your day is a real treat." So I'm just gonna ink that up. And I am going to stamp this as close as I can in the center to the bottom without being on the stitched edge. Perfect. The only thing is you can see the R and the E are really light, and that's because my ink pad needs to be re-inked. So I'm going to do this again. Okay, so I've just got my re-inker here, and actually I'm just gonna add a little bit of ink . And then I've got just a little old bone folder here, and I just usually scrape from both directions just to kind of even out the application a little bit on the pad. And I know this is our old pad design, but you can do the exact same thing, or our old ink pad design, but you can do the exact same thing with the new ones. And then I've just got my watercolor washcloth here, and I just wipe that off. Alrighty, let's ink this up again. And you know what? I'm gonna use this one as a test. Ah, gorgeous. Okay, perfectly inked. So just ink that up, center, bottom. Literally, mwah, perfect. All right, then I'm gonna bring in my cat and my Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and I am going to stamp this little cat just above the sentiment. And then we're gonna color this cat in with some, with our Stampin' blends. So let me line this up. I want it just above the sentiment. I feel like I could have gone a little bit lower. Yeah, I could have gone a little bit lower, but I think that looks good. And then let me also bring in my envelope. I've already added some designer paper. This is from the Sweet Symmetry Designer Series paper. I've added that to the flap. I'm gonna go ahead and also put this little cat on my envelope. Okay. Then I'm gonna grab Flirty Flamingo, and there's this little heart image in the stamp set. Just gonna pop a few of these little hearts around my little cat, like so. Okay, there's my envelope finished. Isn't that cute? And then just to give this image a little bit more time to dry, I'm gonna go ahead and put my layers together for the front of my card. So I have got Just Jade. This is cut 3 3/4 inches, 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. Then this is Bumblebee cardstock. This is cut 3 1/2 inches by 4 3/4 inches. And then this is some of the Sweet Symmetry Designer Series paper. It's actually the reverse side of what's on the envelope flap. And this is cut 3 1/4 inches by 4 1/2 inches. All of these measurements are over on today's blog post, and I have linked to that post in the video description, so you can get them all over there. So I'm just using my Stampin' Seal here, and I'm going to center all of these layers up on top of each other. This is actually a pretty simple card, but I love the finished look. Did I read the sentiment? I don't know if I read it. I hope your day is a real treat. That's what the sentiment says. I don't remember if I read that to you guys. Okay, so then this panel of layers is going to go onto my basic white thick card base. So this is cut 8 1/2 inches by 5 1/2 inches, and I've scored it at 4 1/4 inches. And I'm just going to give it a nice crease. Okay, then we'll add this panel to our card front as well. Okay, just center it up. Got that beautiful thick white border. Okay, so now I'm gonna zoom you guys in and let's do some coloring with our Stampin' blends. So today must just not be my day for filming, because I just literally sat here and talked you guys through coloring in this cat, and I never pressed record. Just talking away, never pressed record. So this is what I just did. Since I didn't press record, what I'm gonna do is I have re-stamped my cat just on this piece of basic white cardstock, and I am going to just quickly walk you guys through what I just did when I thought y'all were with me, but you weren't. Okay, let me see. I might need to zoom in a little bit more for you guys. There we go. Okay, so what you want to do is make sure you have some scratch paper behind you when you're coloring with your blends, because they do bleed through. The colors that I chose for today are both shades of Smoky Slate. Then I've got light Flirty Flamingo, and I brought in my color lifter just in case I go out of the lines. Okay, hopefully this is dry enough. If you have watched me color with Stampin' blends in any of my videos, you probably know by now what I like to do is I come in with the dark shade and I just go over some of the lines. Now, this is just my personal preference. I am no expert when it comes to coloring. I just do what feels best for me and what works best for me. Okay, you can do it however your heart desires, and I don't think that there's a right or wrong way. I don't think there should be a right or wrong way to anything when you're crafting and creating. It's really based on your personal preferences, I feel. So this is how I like to do it. And then I just come in with the lighter shade and go over the dark areas, and then, you know, fill in any other areas. Then I'm going to take the other side of the blend, the little nib, the smaller nib, and do the top of the ears, and then come in with the light Flirty Flamingo for the inside of the ear. Okay. So that is what I did to get this. So I'm going to bring in some dimensionals and just use some of these edge pieces because I can't find another sheet and I don't want to open a new pack just yet. So finish up these edges. Let me cut that down the middle. Okay, so there we go. Take my backings off. Gosh, I hope this video is not super long. And we will put, I'm gonna line the right edge of my stitched rectangle up with the edge of my white card base. And I think I want the cat layer right there. Yep, that looks good, so I'll give that a press. And then I'm gonna finish this card up with some of the in color gems. Aren't these so pretty? Really, really pretty. And I'm actually gonna use pale papaya. There's no pale papaya in this card, but these actually match okay. So I'll just put one down here. I'm using the smaller ones. And then we'll do two. Just right there. All right, and there you have it. That finishes up the card. You can see how cute those little gems look. I think this card is very, very cute. And then of course we've got our envelope, our matching flap. Super cute. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed today's tutorial filled with lots of mishaps, sort of. But anyways, I hope that you have enjoyed, and thank you guys so much for joining me today. Don't forget, you can find all of the supplies that I used for today's project linked down below in the video description, and all of the measurements and supplies are also over on today's coordinating blog post linked down below as well. So thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be back again very soon with another tutorial. Bye now.